Welcome back, everybody, to yet another installment of your favorite podcast, Wide Right, with your two favorite co-hosts, Silas Jackson
and Ethen Hunt.
And we are hitting you today with a pretty sweet episode, man. So we're gonna take a dive into the NBA before we get into the NFL, or do you want to talk about the NFL first?
Let's go for the NBA.
All right. So we'll get started with the NBA here. Leading us off, the Golden State Warriors, since acquiring Jimmy Butler, advanced to 5-1 with a win over the Dallas Mavericks. Are the Warriors legit?
Legit in what way?
Do you think they could make it to the Western Conference Finals? I feel like if you make it to your conference finals, you're a contender.
I think they could. I don't think they will. I don't know. They're just... It's hard to count Steph out, really. He's not been playing bad this year at all. They're obviously better with Jimmy. I just don't think... Maybe the Western Conference Finals, but I don't think they can win the finals.
Okay. Well, I think Jimmy's fit thus far has been kind of intriguing. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's everyone questioned the move because you're like, oh, how does he fit in with Steph? And I mean, they haven't really played anybody, granted, but the answer's been he's fit in pretty damn well. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's an isolation guy, which historically hasn't been their offense. Even when Kevin Durant was there, I mean, KD played off ball. He wasn't really getting into his ISO that much. But Jimmy Butler's getting to the line. He's having some success in isolation. He's found his joy again because he's trying on defense. So I would imagine he's feeling pretty joyous about the game. I don't think they're a legit threat, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made a Indiana Pacers kind of run.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them.
Just wound up in the Western Conference Finals. They match up really well. I mean, their tallest starter is Jimmy, but I mean, they even Draymond can check some of the best bigs in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He knows how to. I mean, he's just a seasoned vet.
He knows how to punch people in the stomach with all his strength and jump on people's chests when they fall over.
Yeah. He's a guy who can get himself suspended for a third of the season with no problem. But they're an interesting team. I think Jimmy's fit has definitely caught a lot of people by surprise, including myself. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a big believer in the Jimmy move, but here they sit, 5-1 through 6 games since getting him. So we'll kick it over to the Eastern Conference. We've been pretty in pretty sound agreement that the Celtics are the number one team in the land. They have a championship pedigree. They just have everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
the reigning champs. It's hard to not pick the reigning champs as the favorite, and here they are. But there are two teams, one in the Western Conference, one in the Eastern Conference, that could make a run and are definitely two threats to Boston, whether it be in the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So my question to you would be, who do you think is the bigger threat? Who do you think could knock Boston off first, I guess you could say?
I'm gonna say Cleveland, but it's not. It's kind of a roundabout answer for me, because I think Oklahoma City's better than Cleveland. Mm-hmm. But I think
they would meet first.
Yes, you have to beat Cleveland to get to the finals. At least how it's looking like right now. Mm-hmm. And the Thunder don't have an easy path in the West.
No, definitely not.
And I think they can be knocked off. And I mean, I don't know. That's really my reasoning, is that Boston has to go through Cleveland for even the chance to play Oklahoma City. I mean, of course, it could always work out. I don't know, Cleveland gets knocked out or Boston gets knocked out.
Dude,
or whatever,
if they get fucking knocked out, I'm going to be so pissed. If they get knocked out early, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. But you can continue. Sorry.
That's pretty much all I had to say. I mean, I think Oklahoma City is better than Cleveland, but I think that Cleveland poses a bigger threat because they're going to have a 7-game series first.
I agree with what you said. I think at this juncture, the Cavs and the Thunder are a very even keel matchup. But I think Boston's right there. I think they have that same kind of firepower within pretty much every aspect of their rotation. I'm also going to say Cleveland because they're going to, like you said, Boston's going to have to go through Cleveland to get to the promised land. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's happening, man. The more I watch the Cavs, they just get better and better with every game. I mean, I thought they were going to skid, and they're 60 games through the season almost with 10 losses, excuse me.
Two of those to Boston.
Yeah, that is true. And to that I raise you. I think Darius Garland was out one game.
To that I raise you the 5 inches Boston has on Cleveland in the paint.
Whatever. No, not in the paint. On the perimeter, maybe. Hey, Boston doesn't have 2 7-footers. Cleveland has 2 7-footers.
It's true, but neither of them can do what 7-footers are supposed to.
No, that's well, Jared Allen's a little incapable at times, but Evan Mobley's sweet. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
That's true. Evan Mobley is sweet.
Yeah, just you watch. Darius Garland's sweet, too. I'm going to say the Cavs. I think the Cavs are better than the Thunder. Fuck the Thunder. Cavs in 5.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll keep it in the Western Conference, man. We're just breezing through this. It's okay. It'll slow itself down. We'll keep it in the Eastern Conference. On the other end of the spectrum, there are some teams who are contenders and some teams who just suck from the very jump of the season. Unfortunately for the Philadelphia 76ers, they have been the latter this year. They have been one of the worst teams in the league. There's been a lot of talk about Joel Embiid just shutting it down for the year. That's kind of where I'm at with this team. I'm just over watching any of them play basketball at this point. Do you think it's time for Philly to shut it down?
I mean, they're just so unentertaining and uninspiring.
They're just so shitty.
I mean, it's just so stupid,
bad.
man. Like, they're just not fun to watch, man. And like, and they don't even have any, like, it's not even like they're bad with good prospects. It's like, dude, they just suck all around, dude. All they have is like they're just shitty.
I like Jared McCain. He's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
but he's out for the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year, and
Tyrese Maxey is inconsistent.
He is what he is at this point.
Yeah,
he's a cool player, but
What is Paul George even doing?
Not much, dude.
What is Paul George
not much
even doing? So pretty much all this is coming from Joel's just getting hobbled out there. They're just putting him on the floor. He's not even getting around. He's playing on the perimeter offensively. He's not Joel. Mm-hmm. He's like a 7-footer who's like just blatantly jacking up shots because that's all he can do. He can't move. He can't slide on defense. He can't move at all. So he's getting looks, and he needs surgery on his knee again.
Yeah, he needs to be done, and maybe just like. Just from like me as a fan standpoint, just like forever, like just get off the court, dude.
Dude, they've been talking about Joel retiring, and it just sucks, man. They just need to shut him down and just let him get right. They're backed into a wall.
Yeah, I mean,
that's Philadelphia's only chance.
Their
at this
season,
point.
Their season is done. They got nothing.
Let's see what their record is. I'm at the point with Philly where. They're 12th in the East right now. They're not going to make the fucking playoffs. They're so bad. They're 20-37. They are not. This team is not.
Yeah, Josh Giddey just scored 25 on them.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. This team's not even sniffing the playoffs. I think Paul George had 19 points on 19 shots that game. If you can fact check that.
I'm good. I believe you. It's fine, dude.
Pandemic.
It's probably true.
The 76ers they're just in such a tough spot, and the only way that Joel can get right. I mean, he's not going to get any better. He's not going to just magically wake up one day and his knee's not going to hurt anymore.
No, he's already an injury-prone player, and to do this to him in a season that's already done for.
Yeah, what are they
so
playing for
pointless.
this year? What are they playing for?
They're playing for a play-in loss. Like, that's so stupid.
They're so bad. So since they're this bad, I guess we can take a little bit of a deeper dive into the 76ers since we've been breezing through this shit so far. Like, do you fire Nick Nurse? Are you clearing house? Daryl Morey out? Daryl Morey probably needs to be fired.
I don't know. I mean, the NBA is so, it's so volatile, and in my opinion, like, not in a good way with like cleaning house and stuff. Like, it's just like,
I mean, we see first-year coaches go all the time.
Yeah, the turnaround on coaches is crazy, and just like the recirculation of coaches in the NBA is crazy. And like, what are you supposed to do with this 76ers team? And like, I think they probably will clean house because that's what teams in the NBA do.
Right.
You need to find a solution, and the solution is never with the players you're paying $70 million a year to play.
Maybe they'll keep Nick Nurse. I don't know, but I'd send Daryl Morey packing. That dude's a fuckwad. He's so stupid. I don't know why the fuck you would bring in Paul George and give him a max fucking deal. He's 34.
Because he's smooth, bro.
Is he?
You seen him dribble, bro?
I saw him score 19 points on 19 shots.
let me fact check that.
Yeah, fact check that for me. Watch Paul George have an efficient game that one time. Bet money he didn't though.
You're wrong. He had 19 points on 16 shots.
Oh, all right. Wow, that's all right, man. I was closer than I thought I was.
Yeah. Oh man, he's really been. Oh my god.
He sucks, dude. What's his shooting percentage on the year?
He's got a 43.2 field goal percentage. But he did
better than it was.
Against the Nets, he played 37 minutes and had 2 points.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God, Paul! Get your shots up, fella! God damn! Oh my God!
He was 1 for 7. He did have 6 assists. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. That was an electric game.
Oh, he's so bad. Okay, so at this point, would you get rid of either Joel or Paul George if you're Philly?
I mean, I would get rid of Paul George. I mean, I wouldn't have brought in Paul George. I do think you got to keep Embiid around because he really is a difference maker.
They invested $240 million into him.
Yeah, I mean, from a team building standpoint, and also just from like a play standpoint, like
he's also bad for the team. Like he's a headache. He's late to meetings. He's like, what the fuck is Joel doing?
Yeah,
you already got a bad knee. Maybe he just doesn't want to be there anymore.
Maybe, but like I don't know. It is tough with him because he's always injury prone, and he's so good, but he's like, I don't know. Is he the best player in the NBA that he's just never gonna win a finals? Like he's like the best player that is impossible to win a finals when he's on the team.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I like Melo.
Yeah,
what everyone said about Melo. Everyone said that about James Harden too. Like you can't win a championship with him as the top option.
And it's not. It's a little bit different than it was with like James Harden because like.
Those teams were close, man. They took Golden State to 7 games.
And you can build a team around Embiid. The problem is when you get to the playoffs, it's almost a lock that your best player is not going to be on the court for 2 games.
Can't have that in a 7-game
No, you
series.
can't. And it's like, yeah, you get through all the regular season, and it's like, you're about to lose the fucking whoever in the play. Like it doesn't even matter, dude.
Yeah. I forget where I saw it, but someone said that LA should pick up Embiid. I don't know why you'd get rid of Anthony Davis just to bring back Embiid, but
yeah, more expensive AD. I mean,
more expensive, more hurt AD.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, if they can load manage him, I don't know where Joel Embiid's going to be 6 months from now. I don't even know if he's still going to be in the league.
He'd probably be in the ICU or something, or recovery.
Yeah, recovering from his impending knee surgery. All right, well, in terms of a Paul George trade, would you ship him to Phoenix for Bradley Beal straight up? I think Bradley Beal would do that, honestly. Phoenix is just as dead end as Philadelphia
Yeah,
is.
I mean, that's true, but why would Phoenix do it? Well, because Phoenix is retarded. That's why they would do it. Because
Phoenix, they don't have, they're backed into a corner. KD's gonna leave.
yeah, but the Phoenix, their mascot is like the lateral move at this point. Like they're also done. Do you want to segue into this segment?
Yeah. We're moving pretty much into the same talk about the Suns, but pretty much the Suns are just as big of a disaster. They're on the outside looking in. I think they're 11th in the West right now, which puts them out of the play-in. I think they are 11th because Sacramento's been hooping.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty much just the 76ers, but in the Western Conference. But they don't have a big man.
No,
so
they don't. They it's so tough. They've got like they do what a lot of NBA teams do. I feel like is that they just get like, oh, this guy's a big name. like they just have
put three big names together.
Yeah, and that's what they have. And
this team is built so bad.
They have no depth outside of those three players, and not all three of them are even playing good.
No, dude, you'll see Bol put up like 16 points, and then he won't play for 8 games.
Yeah, it's not good, man. They need to just maybe I'm wrong, but they don't even have draft picks, do they?
No, they gave up like 4 or 5 of them to get Beal.
Yeah,
they gave up a haul to get KD.
They'll get a haul for KD, right? Unless is his contract up? Is he just gonna walk, or do they have to?
I don't know if I think he has a player option, but they should have traded him when they had the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They're kind of.
They're not going to get anything for him now.
No, and Bradley Beal's got like no trade value at this point. And
no, he doesn't. But I do think he would for a guy like Paul George. I think that's kind of like.
Why would you want to bring in Paul George?
Why would you want to bring in Bradley Beal?
I don't know, but like, yeah. I mean, you're right, but like
Bradley Beal was sweet at one point. Paul George was sweet too. I don't know what's going on with either.
We're past that point for both of these players.
They have third option syndrome, man. Number 2s who can't handle being the number 3. It's so unfortunate. So how would you fix the Suns? Tell me your course of action.
I don't even know, dude. Like,
are you just clearing house? That's probably all they can do.
That's all you can do. Is
they're really backed into a corner.
Restart, keep Booker.
Yeah.
And just
poor Devin Booker.
Try again.
Yeah. Should have never let DeAndre Ayton walk. Well, the Suns are a bunch of shitters.
They are.
Keeping it out.
Who would have thought that them trading DeAndre Ayton would be a fall of a dynasty?
Oh, that's a fantastic point. Oh my goodness. We'll keep it out west for a team who's had similarly bad luck to the Suns. The San Antonio Spurs have been the victims of some bad news over the last week. So starting it out, Wemby's out for the entire year. He's got vein thrombosis in his shooting shoulder.
Yep.
Blood clots pretty much is what they are. Real scary injury among NBA players. This exact thing ruined Chris Bosh's career, forced him into an early retirement. He was like missing a shit ton of games towards the bitter end of the Heat dynasty. It's a scary thing. They're saying that it's not as bad for Wemby, which is good, but I just think it's like the worst news that like they could get. Wemby's I feel so bad. Wemby's so sweet,
and they're gonna lose Pop probably after this season.
That's kind of segueing into our next little tidbit of bad news. I feel like we're breaking bad news to just pretty much, I feel like it's relatively common knowledge that Greg Popovich had a stroke. I think it was in November.
Yeah.
That sucks. Sorry for Pop, but he's missed a lot of time, and now he's been ruled out for the rest of the year, and his NBA future is uncertain as he continues to navigate the road to recovery. Get well soon, Pop. That just really sucks. really shitty news for one of the biggest up-and-coming teams pretty much in the league. I mean, they
Yeah.
just traded for De'Aaron Fox. They were looking like a team who was going to make a push to the play-in at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
They definitely could have clinched a playoff spot.
Their only, like, saving grace, and it's kind of like a thin silver lining, is that Wemby's young. You got to think they caught this early. They're not really a contender this year. It's not like this is ruining them, like ruining their chances for the future. You know, I mean, it sucks to lose him, of course, and this is a serious thing, and that's just talking about it from like a
person.
Yeah, and like a purely like statistical level, like on a personal level, it's like your coach has a stroke, and
your best player has
is
scary news, and he's genuinely like one of the best people in the NBA.
Yeah, then it just sucks, you know, like as a fan as well. As a fan, it's a bummer not to see that, because this was supposed to be.
They're supposed to make the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
this is costing Wemby some playoff
and
experience.
This is supposed to be like a really, really exciting team going forward. And without Pop, it loses a little bit of that excitement. If he does decide to retire, which
you can't fault him for that.
No, like he probably
absolutely.
should. I mean, there's more important things than the fans and basketball. You know, he's had 2 strokes now, I think, in pretty recent succession, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you got to get out of there. He's one of the best coaches in NBA history.
So pretty much, if I'm the Spurs, I'm gonna fucking slide a blank check across the table to UConn head coach Dan Hurley. I don't know if you remember him from last offseason. He was almost the Lakers coach. He was going to be like one of the highest paid coaches in the league, but that's the exact avenue I'd pursue.
Yeah,
right
I'm trading for Paul George.
De'Aaron Fox for Paul George.
They need a veteran presence, dude. That's what they need.
In fairness, Mitch Johnson has been solid, but he's not Pop. He's also not Big Dan. So
no. If their saving grace is Mitch Johnson, I fear they're in trouble.
The poor Spurs. So with Wemby missing the rest of the season, he'll be out of the awards race because the NBA's stupid rule. He was the hefty favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. Those odds have now shifted to Evan Mobley's favor after he fucking locked down Jaren Jackson Jr. Put his ass on a poster, little ass boy. So Evan Mobley's the new favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, which will segue us into our next little, well, I guess we have one more thing to cover after this.
We don't have to cover that last one, actually.
You don't want to do that?
No.
Dude, I thought that was funny. All right, we won't cover it. All right. Guy wants to be serious.
Yeah.
Guy cares about his journalism career. All right. We'll move it to our NBA award picks. If the season ended today, tell me who your award winner would be for every major NBA award, not including the Clutch Player of the Year, because I didn't know if you knew what that was.
I did not.
Okay. All right. Good award to lead off.
I do. I think Jokic is MVP.
I had Jokic for my MVP pick as well.
And I do think the Jesus Christ, what?
I have the list right here.
No. I'm just I just lost my train of thought. I do think Mobley is the depoy without Wemby.
He's having a sweet year, dude. He like they played the Grizzlies and he had like I think 23, 13, and 8 or something like that, and 3 blocks. That night, he became the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year over Wemby or over Jaren Jackson Jr. So I put him in there just because he's sweet.
Yeah,
he's my pick for depoy.
I would say I agree with Stefan Castle, but I would have liked to see Jared McCain there. He would have been my pick had he stayed healthy.
It's kind of a boring rookie class. Let's look up the rookie ladder real quick. Let's see who else is in.
Where's Zach Edey?
He's number 1.
Is he serious?
Yeah, he's number 1. Shit.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, he is number 1.
Oh my god.
Yep. Wow. So Zach Edey's number is he your favorite, or are you? Oh no, you said Stephon Castle.
No, I was joking. I didn't think he would be up there.
Dude, Zach Edey's sweet. Zach Edey's a dog. All right, I also had Stephon Castle for my rookie of the year pick, so we'll move it into sixth man of the year.
I have no opinions.
All right, Silas picks Ty Jerome of the Cavs.
Yep.
Love him, dude. He had 27 last night.
Minutes.
Points in less minutes than that. Don't sleep on my boy. Yeah. He had Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse rocking.
Oh my god.
All right. I picked Peyton Pritchard. Okay. I just didn't want us to have the same pick. That matters for the graphic.
Yeah.
All right, most improved player.
This one might seem strange because he was also good last year, but I'm gonna say Paolo Banchero is my.
Dude, that's a sweet pick, dude. I fucking love Paolo.
I don't like it.
Dude, let's talk about Paolo.
It's not because he was like stunk last year or anything.
No.
Like,
he's a really good player.
He went from being like just kind of forced to carry an offense, but being really inefficient and just being like he was the engine last year, but was like, and not bad, but he just wasn't very efficient, was just kind of faltering at times. And this year, I mean, he's really like he's stepped into being an elite player.
Yeah, that's a really sweet pick. I went with Cade, just gone off a more statistical standpoint in terms of statistical leaps. Cade's been really efficient too. He's like stepped up as one of the best shooters in the league. Still don't think he should have been in the 3-point contest, but that's a different note. He's similar to Paolo. I mean, it's just two young players finding their stride. It's just nice to see.
Yeah,
nice to see the next faces of the league stepping up. But yeah, I picked Cade. I like your pick. Paolo, he's definitely like. I think he could be a top option on a contender, man. I mean, he's got such a versatile skill set.
He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's got a great handle on him. He can get to his spots. He's a really, really good passer, really underrated passer. I like the Magic, man.
Yeah.
I don't like them playing the Cavs and taking them to 6 games when the Cavs are supposed to sweep them, but I like the Magic aside from that. And our last award, Coach of the Year.
JJ Redick.
That's a good pick, man. I wanted to pick JJ Redick. If you picked Kenny Atkinson, I was going to pick JJ Redick.
I just had no spine.
Dude, no, that's a good pick. That is a good pick. Dude, the Lakers are good.
They are pretty good.
JJ Redick's a first-year head coach. The Lakers are top 10 both offensively and defensively.
And like I know this is like a stupid pick, but like he was supposed to be a complete fucking joke.
Yeah,
like, not actually that bad.
Dude, that's a sweet pick. I like that pick. JJ Redick, he's like genuinely like a top 10 coach.
Yeah.
JJ Redick is so sweet. The Lakers are sweet. I picked Kenny Atkinson, 2 Cavs. I was going to pick Ty Jerome and put 3 in there over Peyton Pritchard, but fuck, man. I guess.
Well, that's why I picked him.
Yeah. That was a good pick by you. I don't think I really need to defend Kenny Atkinson. They have the best record in the NBA. Don't. They're probably going to win 60 games. Might win 70. But I guess since we're skipping our last topic, that'll be our last our last basis of discussion for the NBA. But we'll shift it over to the NFL. Do you have anything you want to start on for the NFL?
Let's start with Stafford.
All right. So Matt Stafford is we talked about him. He's in trade talks because his wife wants him to fit his worth. So Stafford came out. I think it was over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Stafford wants $50 million.
Yeah,
coming from him. Nobody but Stafford. Stafford wants $50 million.
And haven't the Rams granted him access to to weigh the market?
You mean like for a trade?
Yeah, like they've allowed, like they've granted him.
Yeah. Him and Cup both. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would give him $50 million.
Okay. If you're the Rams or if you're in general?
If I was anybody, I'd give him $50 million. I mean, he's probably a top 6 quarterback, top 7 quarterback. He's one of the few guys in the league that could conceivably carry a team to a Super Bowl. When you have him on the roster, it is like your ceiling is automatically raised and you are a threat to win any playoff game. The only concern is like he has had injury issues. He is aging, and Stafford. I mean, maybe this is completely like out of left field, but he doesn't come across to me as the guy who's going to play until he's 41.
No, I don't think so. He's just 37, right? Or 38.
I thought he was 37.
He's going into year 17.
Yeah, I mean he's old, but he's still really, really good, and there really has not been that many signs of decline with him.
No.
And it's like you live
37,
and I don't even like. How do you not give him $50 million if that's what he's demanding? Like Tua makes $50 million.
Yeah, to me,
Trevor
$50
Lawrence
million,
makes $50 million.
$50 million is really just like where the bar is at for like market value for like your franchise quarterback,
it's
even like your everyday franchise quarterback.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, Goff makes it, Dak makes it.
Yeah,
like
everyone's making it.
Any
now.
of these guys, I'm taking them over. Or I'm taking Stafford over any of those guys that I just named. I don't even think that all those guys are bad players.
No.
Like, it's just...
They're all franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, if you give... I mean, I'd give him $50 million, and if the Rams won't, then... pretty much any quarterback-needy team, I think, should and will jump on that.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I would... personally, if I'm the Rams, with the way things are going, I wouldn't give him $50 million just because of how the trade talks are going. Like, he's probably off the roster at this point. And with
maybe, yeah.
I think that relationship would be a little strained for me to give him, just randomly cave in.
Yeah, but this isn't like a... I don't know. He's not, like, demanding a trade or anything. His wife's just talking. Like, I think him and McVay have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And I think... From the Rams' point of view, like I have a hard time from viewing it just from Stafford's point of view. It's like, why would the Rams do this? What do the Rams gain from trading Stafford for like a first round pick to like who for who?
If he even commands a first round pick, like I don't even know what his market's going to be.
Like it's just like who do you even? What's your plan? Like Darnold, that comes with that you're still paying Darnold, and that comes with a whole host of problems. Like
I would feel confident in pairing Darnold with McVay.
I would too, but like Darnold,
I wouldn't give Darnold $50 million.
No,
but if I could give Darnold like 32. I would rather from a Rams perspective. I'm not speaking on any other team besides the Rams.
Mm-hmm. I'd still rather have Stafford for 55 than Darnold for 32 because it's the difference of being able to go out there and win any playoff game despite a talent gap or going in there with a huge hamper on your chances to win.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Rams don't make it the playoffs this year. For Stafford.
No, absolutely not. And I'm right there with you. I'm more so on the basis that if LA was going to give him $50 million, they would have already. And I don't think he's going to settle for like 40.
Yeah, no,
because teams are going to be willing to give him, like you said, 55. And I think if I can get Darnold for 32 and bring in that last piece, fuck, dude. Even if I could bring in Rodgers and Devontae, Rodgers didn't play bad. I think he'd be okay with McVay. I think McVay is just so gellable. He could really mesh with anybody. But I think if there was someone to rub Sean McVay the wrong way, it would be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers isn't the guy you want to go to a scheme though.
No.
Because Rodgers is going to
Darnold,
go out
I would
there.
feel confident in. So Darnold would probably be my top option. Maybe if they could get like maybe if one of these teams were offering them like a mid first round pick, maybe they could make a play for one of the top quarterbacks, like bring in Dart. But again, I don't know what it is. They really like Stetson Bennett. Like they really like Stetson Bennett, and I can't fathom it.
It would be really funny if they rolled into the year with
release
Stetson
the fucking
Bennett.
tapes, McVay. I need to see what he's doing in practice. I can't. I'm losing sleep over this.
I don't know, but like
they're so confident.
I mean, dude, I hope. I mean, I don't think they should, but it would be awesome if they did. It would be
so fucking awesome, dude. Do they have... Who has Sam Howell? Do they have Sam Howell?
The Seahawks have Sam Howell.
Oh, okay.
And he was so trash last year when he got in. He was really fucking terrible. So do we want to move into... You mentioned him, Jaxson Dart.
I did mention Jaxson Dart. Didn't I have something else from the Rams, though? Maybe I didn't. No, I think I think that was it for the Rams. Okay. There might have been something from Cup, but all right, yeah, we'll segue this into the Jaxson Dart combo. So I would like to read aloud to everyone a recent report from a renowned NFL Twitter page, NFL Rookie Watch. This is from the source. Okay. Jaxson Dart reportedly won't make it past the first 7 picks of the NFL draft, according to one NFL scout. This is quoting that scout. There's just too many quarterback-needy teams. To be honest, he has the potential to be the best NFL quarterback in this class. The Giants, Jets, and Raiders all reportedly have a serious interest in taking Dart early on. For reference, the Giants have the number, 3 pick?
3. Yeah.
Yep, they have number 3. The Jets have number 7. And the Raiders are 8? Or are they higher? They're somewhere.
I thought the Raiders were in there. It doesn't matter at all.
They're just in that area. Dart has turned the heads of many scouts already with his impressive frame and elite accuracy. After all, Dart was PFF's highest-graded passer, 91.9, this past season, which was better than any passing grade Caleb Williams ever received for a season while in college.
Yeah.
Are you buying the Jaxson Dart hype, my friend?
No.
You're a hater, dog! Jaxson Dart is sweet!
Look, he's not terrible, right?
But no, dude, he's not terrible at all. You heard that shit. Best quarterback in the class.
Okay, I disagree. But I also don't think, the step between him... I think Shador's the second best QB in the class, and I don't think the step down from Shador to him is very big at all.
This is kind of segueing into...
Yeah, we'll do a little bit... I'll
just mix it in. Make your point. I love hearing you talk.
Jesus Christ. Dart is just... He's not a guy, in my opinion, that can go to a team that needs so much more than quarterback. He handles pressure so terribly. Jesus Christ, dude. You think, Sam Darnold sees ghosts, dude? Oh my fucking God. Jaxson Dart, loses his mind, man. It's it looks like you press the wrong button when you're on NCAA or something. You're oh fuck, why is he that's what it looks like when you're watching him and there's the blitz coming. And he has some nice plays against the blitz, and he does have a huge arm, and he's got the NFL frame, and he is athletic, and he is accurate when he is allowed to be on time. But Ole Miss is not an offense that does full field reads. That's not an NFL offense. And he has, he had the great passer rating, but he also lost them games that kicked them out of the playoff, which they should have been in by all rights.
Right. Here's the thing about Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart has rare swag. Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart. If I were the Rams, I would be fucking all over Jaxson Dart.
Dude, you are all over Jaxson Dart.
Jaxson Dart is my Washington prediction of this offseason. Jaxson Dart's gonna be sweet. God. And I think if Jaxson Dart happened to
do you have any other argument other than swag? And it's okay if not. But do you have one?
Alright, yeah. I was gonna get into it a little bit. No. That's my old
look, if it's that legendary, then it's that legendary.
It is that legendary, but it's more than that, man. I'm something about Jaxson Dart, I feel
it's
the way...
because he's white.
Dude, no. False narrative. No, dude, I'm having a hard time putting it in words. You're really flustering me right now. You're really taking me out of my element, man. I think it's the whole... I shouldn't have talked about Jaxson Dart. I shouldn't have put this on this week. Fuck. I feel the same way about Jaxson Dart. I have the same kind of confidence about Jaxson Dart that I had about Jaden Daniels. Like, I didn't see Jaden Daniels, like, being in the MVP conversation, but I wasn't shocked that they were, like, successful, right? I was shocked that they made it to the NFC Championship. I wasn't shocked that they made it to the playoffs. I wasn't shocked that they broke out with Jaden Daniels. I just felt like Jaden Daniels was going to do that. I felt like he was going to elevate their offense in the way that they needed. And granted, he had a great pairing with Cliff Kingsbury, so I would like to say I can't buy into Jaxson Dart if he goes to, like, the Jets or if he goes to, like, the Giants. I might be okay if he went to the Giants.
I think the Jets actually are a better landing spot than the Giants.
I would probably rather see him go to the Giants. But if he went to LA, he would have such a high level impact. Like, he does have the frame. He's sneaky athletic. He's sneaky athletic. He's probably the second most athletic quarterback in the class, realistically. He's got the arm. I mean, he can.
Second to Kyle McCord, you mean?
In terms of the athleticism, yeah. Will Howard's number 3.
Riley Leonard's actually 2.
Dude, Riley Leonard is athletic, real talk. But he was honestly somewhat limited in Lane Kiffin's role because I view Jaxson Dart, not even necessarily like I view Jaxson Dart. Through the Senior Bowl and everything, Jaxson Dart showed he can make every throw on the field, which I think is what really like separated him and what's really elevated his draft stock because of how limited he was in college and because he like in his first opportunity in front of scouts, he showed that he could make every throw on the field. I mean, he had a phenomenal Senior Bowl, and I think he's going to have a really good combine too. And I'm like not surprised at all. Like, I think he should be a top 10 pick. I mean, you look at the numbers, no one had better numbers. And I think if he can just find the right scheme, like I think Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury was a match made in heaven. And I think if he can land, I would like to see him fall a little bit because I would like to see him go to a team like even Pittsburgh because I do think he would be good in Pittsburgh. I think I don't think they're like contenders right away with him, but he could be that guy. And I'm just confident in him as a franchise quarterback in the NFL. And that's what I got to say about Jaxson.
I mean, like I said, I'm not out on him. I do think
I understand your skepticism.
The longer I've thought about it, I think I said with you and Pops that he was QB4. I do think he's QB3. There's a lot of positives with him. I think I'm just really low on all 3 of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like it's less that I don't think that he's.
That's an ideal way for you to bring it up. That can segue us into our next basis of discussion.
I don't think he's like too far behind Ward or Sanders. I just don't think really either of any of those 3 deserve or should be like top 8 picks. I just don't think
no talent discrepancy where like I wouldn't be surprised if like any of these guys were misses. But like last year I was I was confident in Daniels and even Williams. Like he showed he has it.
At the very least. Williams I have a lot of confidence.
Bo Nix has it. Drake May for sure. Like all those guys just have it. Even fucking Joe Milton has it. And it's yeah, he even played well, and it's just one of those things where like it's going to be one of those draft classes. I feel like, but I don't have that same confidence in this year's class, and I feel like a guy like Kyle McCord could land to a team in the second round and be their starter and have the best year of any of the quarterbacks just because that's how it could go. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sanders sucked off the bat. I wouldn't be surprised if Ward sucked. I wouldn't be surprised if Dart sucked off the bat. But I also wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Will Howard like got thrown to the fire and ended up being pretty good. Like
I just see the path with these guys. Like especially like I could see like Ward and Dart falling into that like Will Levis brand of just like sure they've got the arm.
It's just like, so weird what rookie quarterbacks are doing now. It's like it makes
it's
you
hard
like,
to say. I think like all these guys would benefit from just like going and sitting for a year and just like really just like getting a feel for an NFL level thing because like all these guys come across as like they're good college quarterbacks, and I don't feel that much strongly. Like I don't feel much more for any of these guys than that.
I mean, they do all have experience.
That's true. That's true.
They do all have very probably like more experience than even the guys last year had. Maybe not, but I feel like it's right there. Like
right,
I feel
but
like
experience doesn't mean you're better. Like
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I would probably take.
It helps.
It does, but I mean, I think Penix would be by far the QB1 in this class.
Oh, you mean like the 25 class?
Like if Penix was in this class, he'd be the number 1 overall pick.
See, I don't know. I feel like if May was maybe in this class, he'd be number 1. But I don't know. Like I like. Maybe it's I'm not fully confident in Cam Ward, but like I feel like about the same about those two guys. But I do understand what you mean because the talent discrepancy is just so low. And Penix was a good prospect.
Yes.
And he got picked with the 9th pick in the draft or 7th.
I think it was 9.
He was a top 10 pick, which was nuts.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Atlanta shocked everybody.
I do think this draft class could sort of go into the same vein where like of that Kenny Pickett draft class where like there was all that hype going around of like
bums.
Yeah, Willis and Matt Corral and Kenny Pickett. It's like all these guys they're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and it's like and then like then there's like another team like Pittsburgh pick a white quarterback at 20. But like it's like I could totally see that happening again. Like just like somebody sitting and waiting. Like I don't think any of these guys are bad value at like 18. You know, I just think like if there was a team that like, is gonna like trade up to 2 to get a quarterback, I'm like, oh my god, you're blowing your franchise.
Dude, someone's
going to, and it's gonna be the Jets.
Someone might, man. I guess we can keep it in the quarterback realm. We've talked a little bit about Aaron Rodgers. We talked to him with the Rams, but he is like fully out.
Yes.
And I saw something after I put the Rodgers like little topic in our outline, but apparently he like pleaded to stay with the Jets. Like he was like really like begging to stay with. Like
he was really like after the season ended, he was really trying to save face and all the campaigns and stuff. I mean, he was really sucking the Jets' dick, dude. He was going all out.
He's like, oh man, these weapons are so sweet. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get one of the weapons with him probably.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing like a lot about like I saw that deal that sent Devontae and Rodgers to LA. Obviously, that'd be like fucking just stupid. That'd be a nuts like trade. But I could definitely see them being dealt together. As far as landing spots go, I keep like I don't know what kind of dreams I'm having, but like in my mind throughout the day, I just keep seeing Aaron Rodgers in a Raiders uniform.
That might be the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like I mean, dude, that would be so fucking funny. Like it would be so bad, but he wouldn't go to the Raiders. Although it would be awesome to see Devontae traded back to the Raiders.
Like I just see him in a Raiders uniform, and I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it's because there's not like normally for a guy like Rodgers, it's like I don't feel like Rodgers is completely cooked.
No, dude, I think
feel like
Rodgers
he's got
is still
some.
solid. I think Rodgers is still probably like top 15.
I don't know if I think
maybe
of him
top
that
16.
highly.
I just think
he's just and more so like he's just bad for the team. I think to have him.
He's
like,
a fucking headache and a half, man. I get so sick of hearing about him.
And like really, normally the market for a guy like that would like a veteran presence who's hovering around a top half quarterback in the league. Like normally there would be a lot of like interest.
Yeah,
but since it's Rodgers and like there's really. Like the quarterback needy teams, like one of the most needy teams is like already kicked him out of the door. It's like, God damn, that's really not a good sign, man. They traded a first round pick for him and they don't want him anymore. Like, so I mean the Rams make some sense, but Rodgers' salary cap isn't small, I don't think. So like if you're gonna pay a quarterback, pay one that's good.
You'd probably have to restructure to get someone to take him.
I think the Steelers do make a lot of sense, even though I'd hate to see it. I could see them doing it. I could see Devontae going to the Steelers too.
Yeah, I mean,
see.
I'd rather have Stafford.
I'd
rather
too.
have Fields.
I would too. But it's a
see
Steelers move.
Yeah,
it's a Steelers move, man. And that I could see him rocking that Kenny Pickett 8.
Man, if he did that, I would just be so pissed. He couldn't rock 12 because of Terry Bratt. Oh, my God, man. He'd wear 8. Oh, my God.
He would wear 8. He would wear that Kenny Pickett 8. And he'd probably wear 2 gloves, too, just to be a drippy bastard.
Dude, I think he would fire Arthur Smith himself.
Yeah, I think he would. He absolutely would.
And then the Steelers would bring in Nathaniel Hackett.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I think outside of Vegas... man, give me a minute to just marinate on this. Cleveland, I guess. Cleveland's in a funky spot. I'll say Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that fit, but also it's Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can't
I'm more so
banishing
Aaron Rodgers than I am giving him.
Yeah, that's true. That would be that's like capital punishment for NFL players sending them to Cleveland.
But I mean, yeah, I just think quarterback needy teams, and I just don't think he makes sense for any of them, just because he's just such a boner.
Yeah, he really fucking is.
He's such a dick, dude. I fucking hate that guy. I love him at the same time, though.
Well, he's hilarious, but he just... Yeah. I wouldn't want him to be on a team that I'm a fan of.
Yeah, no, that would suck. Maybe the Saints will take him.
I could see that happening, too. Derek Carr back to the Raiders.
All right, well, speaking of Rodgers... His former team, the Green Bay Packers, are a team pushing hard to ban the tush push. I believe Atlanta, Raheem Morris was another one who wanted to ban it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting, though, the Packers in both their matchups this season didn't have a single tush push ran on them, but they did allow 350 rushing yards to Saquon Barkley in 2 games.
Maybe they should try and ban wide zone.
Exactly. So maybe you should just try and bolster your fucking run defense instead of worrying about one play a fucking game that you didn't even see in 2 matchups.
I just think it's a silly... I think it's kind of a silly argument because it is one of those things that it's kind of annoying to watch. It's like, oh my God, one again there at 1 yard.
Dude, I like watching it. I'm sweet on it.
You key into every time that Philly is on 3rd and 1. I don't even notice when other teams are on the short yardage.
I notice when the Bills are there because they're getting stopped.
Yeah, that's true. I also just think it's the same as any other play in the NFL. There's teams that are really good at dive and zone and trap and damn near unstoppable at trap. You can't stop read option with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
No.
You can't do it. Do you want them to stop running it?
They're from the league.
They know this. The defense knows this. I mean, it's just as hard to get a linebacker outside the right tackle and guard Lamar as it is to get fucking 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. It's just the same thing, dude. If something works, they're gonna do it. It's not against any rule. It's just silly. You're not gonna. It's just silly.
The tush push is so funny because in a copycat league, no one else runs it. No one else even lines the shit up.
Well, the Bills do, and they stink.
They don't even run the tush push. They just run a generic QB sneak at a single back, and it gets stopped, and they're like, "What?"
Well, it had worked 99% of the time.
That's because they have Josh out. But I'm just the rule is the rule. You can't push players. Guess what? They're pushing players. So line up, try and stop it, man, or do it yourself. I mean, fuck. It's not like it's putting Jalen Hurts out of games. They're pushing him 3 feet ahead.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's just
the tush push didn't get Philly to a Super Bowl win.
No,
no,
not at all. people just hate to see it because it works every time, and I think for a lot of people it makes the games uninteresting because
The Packers just
did
beat
you
the
see
team,
like
too.
someone had clipped on Twitter like of Jordan Love trying to run a QB sneak and like he's like trying to get the ball and he like tripped and fell over like to the right side like almost fumbled like it's just like. Dude, I mean,
Dude,
come on, man! Like,
can't run it. I mean, hey.
I don't know. I think it should not be banned.
No, I'm with you there. If they ban it, I riot. Do you want to get into the Shaq Thompson of it all next?
No.
It's a sad day,
It's
folks.
tough, man. It's
after 10 glorious seasons in a Panthers uniform, the Panthers have informed Shaq Thompson that he will no longer be back. They will not be bringing him back.
It's just brutal, man. Well, he's been hurt the last 3 years. I think I was concerned more about him just straight up retiring than the Panthers letting him go. If he wanted us to play, I don't really know why they would not let him.
Yeah, I mean,
they need everybody they can possibly get on defense, and when he's on the field, Shaq Thompson's a pretty positive starter. So I don't necessarily understand it. He's a good veteran presence in the locker room. I mean,
third all-time leading tackler in franchise history.
Yeah, and
it's a sad day.
And yeah, his cap hit's pretty big, I guess, but we're also not paying anybody else, and like I don't know. It just kind of bums me out because like the last vestige of like good Panthers players, like from the past. So. I don't know. It sucks. It's sad to see him go.
Yeah,
Panthers legend.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna miss seeing big number 7 in those in that black and blue baby. Rest in peace to
Yes.
Shaq Thompson and his glorious Panthers career.
Yep.
Put the 7 in the rafters.
Yes, exactly.
Moving on to our next segment. After that little bit, the Washington Commanders are allowing Jonathan Allen to pursue a trade. He is a 3-time All-Pro. Certainly a stud in the front, top 5 probably interior defensive lineman in the league. Got a sweet impact. So, what do you think? Where do you think greener pastures are?
I don't know. I kind of like him for a team like the Packers. The Packers, I would like him for the Jaguars. I'd like him. I mean, I think the Bengals would make sense for him. I think those are my kind of top 3, the first 3 that come to mind. For Washington, I'm not really sure I understand it because while I don't necessarily think he's top 5 anymore, I actually think Terron Payne is better who plays beside him. And I guess it makes sense. They put a lot of stock in Jerzan or Johnny Newton? I can't ever remember which one he likes to go by.
Johnny?
Yeah, whatever. You got Newton.
I think Johnny.
Yeah, you got Johnny Newton right beside him.
He's a good,
and he's a good player,
yeah.
and you put capital in that.
That was a good pick for them.
And so, like, it sort of makes sense to, like, your D-line and your defense is weak, and you've got 3 really good D tackles. It kind of doesn't make sense team building-wise. But on another sense, you're trading probably your second best defense to your Jesus. You're trading your second best defender when you need to be building your defense up. I think it just kind of is backwards process a little bit.
I'm with you there. I mean, I don't know what his cap hit is like. I can't imagine it's cheap though. I mean, he's always played near the highest paid interior defensive lineman in the league. I definitely agree. Terron Payne's he's really like a serviceable starter. Could probably take a next step as a difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, I think Terron Payne's pretty elite. I do think, like, in terms of Jonathan Allen, though, he does have a big cap hit, I'm sure. But the Washington still has like $75 million in cap.
Yeah, they do.
You need to build. This is not a year where you need to be like a revolving door of a team. You were just in the championship game. You want to be back there.
Maybe this is a pretty good draft class for interior defensive linemen.
That is true.
So that could be what helped. Wow, he was going to have a $22 million cap hit.
That is large. That is
pretty substantial.
That is large.
Wow, I understand that a lot more.
That is bigger than I was thinking it was going to be.
Wow, we probably should have looked that up before we even started talking.
Yes, it does make sense. I still think I actually do think I disagree with it still, but
they just have the money. They have they kind of have fuck you money in a way.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
I don't think he's that old either, is he?
29?
30?
Okay.
Just turned 30?
Okay.
I mean,
do you want to talk about another aging star here in Terron Armstead?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was going to talk about him in a little more brighter light than that. Terron Armstead, while he is an aging just player at this point.
Yes.
Yes. He is saving the Dolphins some funds. He's being a good guy. He's restructuring his deal, taking the veteran minimum. Did he even play a game last year? He got hurt, didn't he?
I thought he played last year. I could be totally wrong.
I'm probably the wrong one. But he's taking he's clearing the Dolphins up a little over $28 million in cap. That really, really changes things for the Dolphins.
I know. Tyreek Hill can pay his child support now.
No, dude, he's out. I mean, he said he wants back, but he's out.
Yeah, no, this is
definitely
pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, that's very helpful for
it is
Miami. Like
it is very helpful.
I haven't even thought about who they could bring in because they just didn't have the chance to because they didn't have any money.
So this is big for them. This is probably they just got Javon Holland back.
Yeah,
that's kind of the first thing that came to my mind was okay. You get to keep one of your good defenders. That's pretty good, and some extra as well. And a team that was in my thought process pretty cap locked and uninteresting going into the offseason. Now they have a chance to make some moves.
That really, really opens things up for Miami. They could probably get. Could probably get Javon Holland on a deal now. Maybe sign him long term. That's what I would be looking to do, definitely. I wouldn't want to tag him, but I mean he's already the best safety in the league, and you're going to have to pay him like it anyway. So whether that comes in the tag or a long term deal.
Yeah, from Terron Armstead's standpoint, though, I wonder why would you take a $28 million pay cut to still not win a Super Bowl with a better roster?
I mean, I give him props for trying.
Yeah.
I mean he's 33.
Sure.
He's made all his money. He's one of the best tackles ever. He did play in 15 games. It was the year before he was hurt. He played in 10 games. But he was a little banged up down the stretch. Not really what I was talking about, though. Not really what I meant. But props to him, man. I mean, that's a fucking stand-up move. I wish someone in Pittsburgh would do that. Just anybody.
Yeah, anybody, please. We have so many aging players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another relatively aging tackle we'll talk about. The Chiefs are interested in Ronnie Stanley from Baltimore. He's set to hit the open market, but they have some questions across the offensive line. Of course, they have to bring back Trey Smith, who made his first Pro Bowl appearance, had a big year last year. They're rocking with $3.3 million in cap.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine they're going to be really aggressive in restructuring here.
Yeah, they're going to have to be. They talk about deadlocked in cap.
Because I mean,
they're in a bad way.
They're maybe the most speaking of a lock to just get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, they've got the easiest path probably. I can imagine them being pretty aggressive. I don't think they're going to be able to bring in Ronnie Stanley though. Just mostly because I just don't think the Ravens are going to let him walk.
Right. So I mean, in that case, where they're still probably going to have to allocate funds to the tackle spot because they're just so thin at tackle. They could bring back Trey Smith.
They could.
In an ideal world.
I think they should.
I wouldn't really prioritize tackle over Trey Smith. I'd probably prioritize bringing him back first.
Yeah, but it is tough because they're already paying Juwan Taylor all that money, and he already stinks. So.
He's so bad. Joe Tooney was good, but he's fucking guard.
Yes.
Yeah. It just the Chiefs are just they're caught between a rock and a hard place right now. Might be losing Kelsey.
No, Kelsey's back. I think.
Oh, is he?
He announced that he's fired up to be back. He's fired up.
I didn't see that. That's badass. That's good for them. Oh, I see. Chiefs GM expects fired up Kelsey to play in 25.
Okay.
Little overzealous on your behalf, partner.
Sorry, I must have just misread the headline.
I like saw that hit my phone earlier and didn't read it, but the Chiefs are in a not so good spot. But the NFL salary cap is elevating this offseason up to $277.5 million. That's up from last year's $255 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 11% increase versus last year's 13. I mean, the salary cap grows every year because the NFL keeps making more money. Unfortunately, that means nothing for the Chiefs. They still have to pay everyone a shit ton of money. Our last little segment before you still want to rebuild the Browns?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, after this, we'll get into our Browns rebuild. But the Cards are not looking to move Kyler Murray. They've elected to retain their star quarterback, a couple-time Pro Bowler. Entering the offseason, there were some questions that he could be moved in a trade. Pittsburgh was the favorite to land him. There are a few other teams in the mix there. We talked about that last week. We talked about because I had Arizona as one of my biggest buyers this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Said they're going to build around Kyler, man.
Yeah,
I got foresight. I'm sweet.
Yeah, you did. I think it's a good move. They want to get him. They have a potentially exciting offense if they get another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of just don't have very much downfield threat right now.
They could be a threat for Higgins, though. They have a lot of money.
Yeah, I also think I also think that they could be a good market for Tyreek if he gets traded. I like Marv, but he's not really a downfield threat.
He's just not there yet.
He's just not.
He's gotta develop.
And he's not very fast either. Even at if he hits his ceiling, he's not really going to be stretching the field vertically like that. And Michael Wilson just not that fast. Trey McBride, good, not the vertical threat.
Right.
It's just they are good. They have a really good running scheme, but they're just not a very electric offense, despite having one of the more electric quarterbacks in the league. So
yeah,
I think they could be exciting with Kyler next year.
Yeah,
they were feisty this year.
Yeah, they were. I'm happy to see Kyler back. I'm a big Kyler fan. But yeah, I think if they could just get that one more guy, they need a couple pieces defensively too. Mm-hmm. Their defense is the worst.
It's trash. It's pretty fucking trash.
But with Kyler, they have a shot. Kyler's one of those guys. He's been banged up the last couple of years, but people forget who Kyler was.
Yes.
Pete Kyler's top 10.
Yes.
Pete Kyler is top 10. Kyler's sweet. So that'll round off our news segment. We're gonna rebuild the Browns now.
Okay, you go for it. You actually wrote stuff down. I'm just about to free ball, so you go ahead and do this.
All right. So Silas and I, the Browns are a dumpster fire. I don't even think we need to do an intro here. The Browns suck. You hear the words rebuild in Browns, and you're just not even surprised. You're like, oh, all right, yeah. But Silas and I, we're going to attempt to alleviate some Browns fans' pain. A lot of my family are Browns fans, so we'll give this special shout out to them. This is how I would rebuild the Browns in 10 steps or less. Number 1, move Deshaun. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you send a hitman on him. Move Deshaun. I don't care if you fucking move his bed out into a random field. I don't care how you do it. Move Deshaun. Get Deshaun out of Cleveland tomorrow. Deshaun is the worst thing for football since I don't even know. He's so bad. Deshaun sucks.
Yeah, he's
Let's just send him to the UFL. That it doesn't matter how you get him off the roster. Get him off the roster.
Would you like to add what you put in parentheses if I get rid of Deshaun? You might have been a little. You want to pump the brakes on this now? You might have been a little hasty.
No, man, no. See, because unfortunately for the Browns, there's an equally bad franchise out there. So in this hypothetical universe, we are banishing Deshaun to the Giants. Deshaun is going to the Giants. The Giants don't have to give us anything, but for the sake of the rebuild, we're going to take a 5th round pick. The Giants get Deshaun. They're happy. they don't need a quarterback anymore. They're bought into Deshaun. After that, I have Cleveland biting the bullet. Myles Garrett wants out. We're going to let him walk. We're going to do right by Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's done right by us. We're going to let him walk. I have him going to Washington for the number 29 pick in this year's draft and a 2026 first. I don't really know what the market for him is right now.
I got to imagine
it's
that or more.
Right. I feel like that's I feel like that's a pretty safe pretty safe pickup. But all of these trade details will matter in time, I promise. After that, I'm bringing back Jameis, Elijah Moore, and Nick Chubb.
Okay.
I'll give Nick Chubb whatever he wants.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Jedrick Wills walk. He sucks.
Yes, he does blow.
Oh, that's all I have to say there. Moving on, in the draft, I'm trading out of number 2.
Mm-hmm.
We have a long-term option in quarterback that is coming, I promise. We're trading out of number 2. We're going to trade back with the Jets. We're going to let the Jets throw their hat into the ring of Sanders or Ward. I feel like they're a team who wouldn't mind having a say in that arena. And for that, we're going to get their number 7 pick and a 2nd-round pick this year. After that, with my new 2 first-round picks, I'm drafting Will Johnson, pairing him up with Denzel Ward. They're going to have to do some work on Denzel to get him to come back, but throw him some money. That's never hurt. And then after that, I'm protecting our next quarterback with Kelvin Banks with the number 29 pick. Feel like that's a safe range for him.
Yep.
And then after the draft, I'm bringing in Stafford, baby. I'm sending that same 2026 2nd-round pick and a 2027 3rd and 4th to LA for Stafford. I've seen so many varying trades for Stafford. I don't even know what his value is right now. In free agency, I'm bringing in Chris Godwin and Ronnie Stanley. Just beefing up my protection for Stafford a little bit, bringing him a weapon. I like the Browns receiving core outside of. I think they can.
Everybody.
Oh wow! Silas from left field. Oh wow! Cedric Tillman had a pretty strong close to the year. He showed some promise. He might be a guy going. Dude, stop like that. Dude, stop. Jerry Jeudy had a good year. He had his first 1,000-yard campaign. I don't think he's legit. That's why
Pro Bowler.
That's why I'm bringing in Chris Godwin. I think Chris Godwin is. I think he's good next to those guys. That's pretty much all I have for now.
So you like the Browns? You're really going for
dude.
this.
I'm like trying to give them something to work with.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
I'm not done.
Oh shit! I thought this was what you had.
No. I'm not done. I'm freestyling it a little bit here, but no, I am not done. After that, the Browns are thin, very thin up front, and there's a guy fresh out of Pittsburgh who had a pretty decent year in a limited role. I'm gonna bring in Preston Smith. He's just going to be a serviceable guy. Look, I'm trying to win the Super Bowl next year, all right? I'm the fucking Browns. I'm bringing in Preston Smith, all right? They need help off the edge. Alongside Preston Smith, I'm bringing in another old guy in DeMarcus Lawrence. These are 2 guys who I'm confident will give me high production on a relatively cheap contract. The Browns are going to have, I'm not going to be able to do the whole fucking thing for them. They're going to have to fend for themselves a little bit. They're going to have to clear up a little bit of cap space. But they're not in... Getting Deshaun out helps. Getting Deshaun out definitely helps. But after that, they have an okay secondary. I wouldn't mind seeing them pick up targeting safety in the draft, or maybe if they could pick up a guy like Justin Reed. I need some help over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I mean, I like the Browns with Stafford and Godwin and this little makeshift offense.
Entire team, completely.
Yeah, I think they could.
After you draft them all the best players and pick them all the best players in free agency and pawn the worst player in NFL history off of the Giants. Yeah, as long as they can do that, I've kind of like the Browns.
Dude, they should hire me.
They should. They really should.
I could make that happen. I could gaslight the shit out of Joe Shane. I'd be like, dude, Deshaun's still got it, man. I mean, he didn't have that boot on because his Achilles is healing good. This is all just a smoke screen. He's coming back.
Yep.
So, let's hear how you'd rebuild the Browns.
Okay, I'm going to start. I'd trade Myles Garrett as well. I'm not going to go nearly as in depth with the draft picks. Mostly because I didn't write anything down. And I'm not going to be able to remember.
So this is freestyle.
So I'm going to say Myles Garrett goes to the Lions.
Okay.
And I'm going to say he goes for 2 firsts as well, and maybe the third or
who cares?
I think I'm going to say it's not realistic enough that they can move Deshaun, so they just have to bench him.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to.
Yeah, I think they resign Elijah Moore. I think they let Jed Wills walk. I think they try and trade Martin Emerson and Greg Newsome. And try and clear up some money and get some day 3 picks and try and get some corners that don't allow every single fade on them.
Will Johnson.
Yeah. I think you trade back out of 2 for picks. I think you pick the Darlin Dart is exactly where I was going, actually. I think they picked Jaxson Dart. And they let Deshaun sit behind him and watch as Jaxson Dart steers this ship to the promised land.
Let a motherfucker with some real drip talk.
Yeah, dude, I think he's gonna be elite. I take it back everything I said. He's gonna look great in that brown and brown.
I would really like your rebuild if you had them picking Will Howard in the first round.
I'm not done.
By all means,
with one of the 4th round picks they get from Martin Emerson. I'm gonna subvert your expectations again. With one of those 4th round picks, they're gonna use their own 3rd round pick to trade up into the 2nd round to pick Kyle McCord, and then. There's going to be some QB controversy.
Oh my god.
And
2 QB system brewing.
Yeah, that's all I got. And Kyle McCord is going to beat out Jaxson Dart, and they're going to trade Jaxson Dart for a haul of picks to the Giants because I have to incorporate Joe Shane. And the Giants are going to actually go on. It's going to be a dynastic run. It's going to be like when the Chargers traded Breeze to the Saints, and Dart is actually going to be electric, but Kyle McCord's going to be even more electric, and the Browns are going to beat the Giants in the Super Bowl next year.
Oh my god.
My Browns rebuild.
That was so dynamic. Holy shit. Oh my god, fuck the Giants, dude. Alright, man.
Yeah,
that'll just about do it for us, man. We'll get into our go to the week picks, man. You got your go to the week.
I don't.
Alright. I'm gonna buy Silas a few minutes to
I'm just scouring the web
get
here.
his go to the week. In order. I'll get into mine. Just give me one moment here. My go to the week, ladies and gentlemen. My go to the week this week is Zion Williamson for checking in on the scales at 264 pounds, the lightest he's weighed in his entire NBA or collegiate career. Zion's getting it together. He's listed at 284 on NBA.com, so he's dropped some pretty significant pounds. He's got a contract stipulation because he was so fat. So he had to get weighed in. Everyone knew what was going on with Zion.
Yes.
He was fat.
Yes, he's fat as fucking hell.
And now he's not anymore.
Yes.
So for those in-depth reasons, skinny Zion Williamson is my GOAT of the week.
Okay, I'm grasping for straws here. I'm going to say my GOAT of the week is the entire Carolina Hurricanes team for losing 0-4 to the Canadians today. They gave me an excuse to not watch hockey.
Oh wow!
They.
Holy shit! All right, we're back.
Okay.
We're back to close the episode.
We're back just in time for me to apologize for being unprepared. So the Hurricanes are second in the Metropolitan Division now.
Nice, man. What's their record?
They're 33-21.
Okay.
They're doing pretty good. They did just get fucked on, but
dude, I couldn't even tell you how many games are in a hockey season.
I can tell you there's been 58 of them. I don't know. I
can tell you their All-Star game was sweet. They had the Four Nations face-off. That was we can talk a little bit about that. They we'll end it there. Yeah. Folks, we appreciate you joining us for yet another stellar episode of Wide Right. We'll be back with you next week. We got some pretty exciting things in the works here at Wide Right Studios. So until next week, we've been Wide Right.